Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We are out for a walk, and we're in the UK, and it's so nice that you can just go for a walk and find a nice place with lots of greenery and read together. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay. It's going to be a deep session today.
Canto 4, Chapter 26, Text 24.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Text 24. O hero's wife, kindly tell me if someone has offended you. I am prepared to give such a person punishment. As soon as we start reading, an airplane comes up. O hero's wife, kindly tell me if someone has offended you. I am prepared to give such a person punishment as long as he does not belong to the Brahmana caste. But for the servant of Murari Krishna,
Murari.
I excuse no one within or beyond these three worlds. No one can freely move after offending you, for I am prepared to punish him. According to Vedic civilization, a Brahmana, or one who is properly qualified to understand the absolute truth, that is, one belonging to the most intelligent social order, as well as the devotee of Lord Krishna, who is known as Muradvish, enemy of a demon named Mura, is not subject to the rules and regulations of the state. In other words, upon breaking the laws of the state, everyone can be punished by the government except the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Brahmanas and Vaishnavas never transgress the laws of the state or the laws of nature, because they know perfectly well the resultant reactions caused by such law breaking. Even though they may sometimes appear to violate the laws, they are not to be punished by the king. This instruction was given to King Prachina Barhisha by Narada Muni. King Paranjam was a representative of King Prachina Barhisha. And Narada Muni was reminding King Prachina Barhisha of his forefather Maharaj Prithu, who never chastised a Brahmana or a Vaishnava. Controversial. Controversial. Oh.
Sorry.
Jeepers.
It's all this fresh air.
Right.
And jet lag. Okay, controversial. You said twice. Say it for a third time. And then...
Because people who've been hurt by Brahmanas or Vaishnavas, they would read that and think, well, what do you mean that they don't get punished, or they're above these laws and they know what is the right thing to do? So, because if they've clearly done the wrong thing to do, that means they don't know what the right thing to do is. They had a temporary leave of absence of their intelligence. So what I would say is, disclaimer, if anyone is hurt physically or inappropriate behavior, you shouldn't accept that as it's okay and be sentimental, because this is how people get abused and things are misrepresented, as it were. That's what I would say.
Yes, it's a tough one to decipher and figure out. Of course, Srila Prabhupada starts to qualify it by saying that they know better, so thus they would never break the laws.
Right.
But then he says, even if sometimes it appears that they have transgressed the laws, still they're not to be punished, which is a very difficult pill to swallow and sort of lends itself to elitism or favoritism, or also what's that word where you facilitate someone in kind of breaking the law or something, you know, like you become a sort of accomplice. Yeah, there's another word, codependent or something like that. Anyway, so it is a difficult and dangerous one to understand. The main point being that, yeah, I guess we have to be very careful not to try to bundle everyone into the same pile and just think everyone is subjected to the same, you know, laws of nature, laws of karma sort of thing. Yeah, not an easy one to understand.
Okay.
Next paragraph. One's pure intelligence or pure Krishna consciousness becomes polluted by material activities. Pure consciousness can be revived by the process of sacrifice, charity, pious activities, etc. But when one pollutes his Krishna consciousness by offending a Brahmana or a Vaishnava, it is very difficult to revive. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described the Vaishnava aparad or offense to a Vaishnava as the mad elephant offense. One should be very careful not to offend a Vaishnava or a Brahmana. Even the great yogi Durvasa was harassed by the Sudarshan Chakra when he offended the Vaishnava Maharaj Ambarish, who is neither a Brahmana nor a sannyasi, but an ordinary householder. Maharaj Ambarish was a Vaishnava, and consequently Durvasa Muni was chastised. So, yeah, this a very, very important point of offense, and not offending devotees and not committing an offense means that we have to be very, very careful. And I guess, you know, the danger is, especially if you have sort of nature of Kshatriya, that you just want to mete out justice, and you think whoever committed the crime should do the time, and it doesn't matter whether they're from this ilk or this class or this caste or this, you know, varna or this ashram. If you do the crime, you got to do the time, and they sort of paint it all with one brush. But we have to be very careful, because if we commit some aparad, then the way Prabhupada speaks here is that it basically could be all over. It's very difficult to revive, he says. So, yeah, we have to be very difficult.
The conclusion is that if Krishna consciousness is covered by material sins, one can eliminate the sins simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. But if one pollutes his Krishna consciousness by offending a Brahmana or Vaishnava, one cannot revive it until one properly atones for the sin by pleasing the offended Vaishnava or Brahmana. This was the course that Durvasa Muni had to follow, for he surrendered unto Maharaj Ambarish. A Vaishnava aparad cannot be atoned for by any means other than by begging the pardon of the offended Vaishnava.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vaishnava aparad. Remember one time when Bhaktivedanta Swami was initiating two of his quite prominent disciples now, and giving them Brahmin initiation, and he gave them an instruction. He said, you have to forgive anyone that you feel may offend you before they finish offending you, sort of thing. And he said, because it's very powerful, something like we take to Krishna consciousness and it's all nice in you and you read about it or you hear about it, oh my God, but it does get, if you don't keep giving attention to the holy names, you can forget just what the power of the holy names are. Especially if you don't give attention, why should they give attention to you? So you definitely forget what the power is, what to speak of being Brahmin initiated and the responsibility that comes with that. So that was Maharaj's point, but she said to Maharaj's point that it is actually very serious what you're this next step, and don't get offended. As a Brahmin, don't get offended. And he was giving that instruction to them on the day he gave them Brahmin initiation. So it's quite powerful, kept them humble and tolerant, and interesting because it wasn't often when you speak about offences and that, it's from the person who is received the offence.
Meaning?
But my point is Maharaj turned it around, and it was like, no, you not like, you can't have a pity party, as it were. It's like, no, you don't allow anyone to offend you. And not only was it like that, it was like, you gotta forgive them, because if someone upsets us and it's obvious or not, especially if it's obvious, it's like it's almost like, that's what you focus on. Man, did you hear? They really upset that person, or they're so offensive. No one thinks of the offender in that way as such, but Maharaj is turning it around, that putting the onus on his disciples, who may likely, as just interactive human beings, you can get offended and some wrongdoing. And his point was, but you need to act better by forgiving and moving on, type of thing. I thought it was very powerful. There's a lot, I guess, about those particular disciples as well that you said that too, which who are very prominent and very empowered.
Very empowered and seen.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite a life lesson.
Yeah. Especially to be just told, when you get in your so it's like an instruction you got, it's like, oh Lord.
Yeah. I was wanting an instruction except for that one. Okay, so we'll read 25 and then we'll conclude. My dear wife, until this day, maybe try to finish. My dear wife, until this day I have never seen your face without tilak decorations, nor have I seen you so morose and without luster or affection, nor have I seen your two nice breasts wet with tears from your eyes, nor have I ever seen your lips, which are ordinarily as red as the bimba fruit, without their reddish hue. I think that leads testimony to the fact that they did have cosmetics and they utilized them back then. Every woman looks very beautiful when decorated with tilak and vermilion. A woman generally becomes very attractive when her lips are colored with reddish saffron or vermilion. But when one's consciousness and intelligence are without any brilliant thoughts about Krishna, they become morose, lusterless, they become morose and lusterless, so much so that one cannot derive any benefit despite sharp intelligence. Yeah, it's interesting. Srila Prabhupada seems to be saying here that it's okay to dress nicely, dress ornately, look beautiful, but just be careful that it doesn't become your sort of prime duty at large. Like my goal in life is to always look beautiful, in a sense, like dress my body up and kind of present myself. So, when one's consciousness and intelligence are without any brilliant thoughts about Krishna, they become morose and lusterless, so much so that one cannot derive any benefit despite sharp intelligence. So even your most intelligent person, but if your consciousness isn't on how to use this for Krishna, how to engage it for Krishna, how to remember Krishna, then you're going to suffer.
Text 26.
Last verse in this
My dear Queen, due to my sinful desires, I went to the forest to hunt without asking you. Therefore, I must admit that I've offended you. Nonetheless, thinking of me as your most intimate subordinate, you should still be very much pleased with me. Factually, I am very much bereft, but being pierced by the arrow of Cupid, I am feeling lusty. But where is the beautiful woman who would give up her lusty husband and refuse to unite with me? Purport. Both man and woman desire one another. That is the basic principle of material existence. Women in general always keep themselves beautiful so that they can be attractive to their lusty husbands. When a lusty husband comes before his wife, the wife takes advantage of his aggressive activities and enjoys life. Generally, when a woman is attacked by a man, whether her husband or some other man, she enjoys the attack, being too lusty. Oh dear. In other words, when one's intelligence is properly utilized, both the intellect and the intelligent person enjoy one another with great satisfaction, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.9.45. The actual happiness of the karmis is sex life. They work very hard outside the house, and to satiate themselves after their hard labor, they come home to enjoy sex life. King Puranjan went to the forest to hunt, and after his hard labor, he returned home to enjoy sex life. If a man lives outside the home and spends a week in a city or somewhere else, at the end of the week he becomes very anxious to return home and enjoy sex with his wife. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yan Maitunadi Griha Medi Shukham It Hetucham. Karmis work very hard simply to enjoy sex. Modern human society has improved the materialistic way of life simply by inducing unrestricted sex life in many different ways. This is most prominently visible in the Western world. Thus then, the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 26th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled King Puranjan Goes to the Forest to Hunt and His Queen Becomes Angry.
So don't go to the forest to hunt without sorting it out with your queen first.
Yeah, unless the queen is the one that's going to hunt you.
Any other thoughts?
No. That's it.
That's it?
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, seems like highest pleasure, or one of the highest pleasures and most binding factors in the material world is sex desire, and people live for it, work for it, die for it, so like that.
Kill for it.
Kill for it, yeah, we'll die for it, kill for it.
Well, some mean die.
Some die for it and some kill other people for it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, okay, so we finished the chapter, and we'll be starting chapter 27 in the next reading. So, thank you all very much for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Haribol.